lot. It's a lot.
The homework, the classes, everything is too much and everything. So I wasn't really fully committed to it. But this year, I decided to like push myself, stretch myself a bit to do some things that I'm not really used to doing. Yeah, so I started a podcast called Fat Talk with Everest. I'm at this point in my life where I don't really give an F what you think about me. Initially, I wasn't at this point, but I've worked so hard. I've gone through a lot.
Yes.
I've battled so much demons to be able to come out of that as part of my life and be where I am right now.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the All of You podcast, the podcast where we sit down with all of you. And today we are extending the olive branch to one of those people. I've talked about this before. I'll say it again. Every once in a while, somebody comes into my life and I meet a lot of people because I teach. This person that I'm sitting down with today is like a level of quirky that I just vibe with. And fashion sense like none other. And she wears glasses. So like, obviously I just, from the second that you walked into class late once or twice, I just knew that you were a vibe. I just knew like you have zero. Anyways, Cynthia, welcome to the All of You podcast. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon with me here.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. Actually, I've told you several times, Professor, you're a really fascinating person.
And
I've been watching you, and seriously,
I've been watching you too.
Yeah.
I've been watching you too.
A lot of professors have taught me from my first level, second level, third level, and now fourth level, and I connect well with you because of your wild creativity, your fashion sense, especially the vintage part of it, not the trendy ones, actually. Yeah, I love your hairstyle. Oh my God, guys, you need to see her tattoos. They're cool, like seriously. So thank you so much.
No, thank you for being here. And you literally blew my mind this morning on the drive in as you were saying that you've been chatting with people on campus about me. That's so weird.
Yeah.
That's so weird. But guys, this episode is not about me. You know enough about me. We need to dive into the brilliant mind, the brilliant, creative, eclectic mind that is Cynthia. And Cynthia, I was telling you on the ride here that I had something in mind that I wanted to make sure that I said. And you probably won't even remember that you ever said this to me, but one of the things that you said to me, I don't know if it was like last day of class or something, but you were like, yeah, professor, she likes to repeat herself a lot.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh my God, do I repeat myself a lot? Tell everybody about me repeating myself and why is it that I'm still thinking about this 100 months later, this Cynthia telling me that I repeat myself a lot. What do I do?
Okay. So you have this kind of, will I say characteristics or will I say kind of vibe when lecturing? Okay, so most professors just like this topic, like push, put it out there, read slides, push it out there, like student figure the things out, your critical thinking stuff, right? So, but when it comes to you, that's why I say a lot of students like you. I'm sure you don't know that here, but that's the truth. We are students, right? We talk to ourselves, we have conversations, so we know which lecturer does the work. No offense to other lecturers, actually, yeah, because everybody have their own teaching pattern, right, and style. So we have these conversations with ourselves and which lecturer actually imparts more to us and which professor we actually connect more with than the other. And when it comes to you, you have this repetitive kind of teaching style, like you tend to like repeat yourself a lot. And I think it's because of that we tend to like
retain.
Retain what you teach us or what you lecture us about, because
so it's not a bad thing.
No. Actually, I feel like because you teach more international students, right? Because,
primarily,
because the London South campus, if I'm not mistaken, it's mostly dominated by international students and the local students, right? Yes. So your students are mostly from different parts of the country, and we have different types of or a pattern of learning. And I think you're trying to like repeat yourself most of the time. You like tend to like make us actually like slowly sink into the learning with you, like because when you just like put it poof out there like that, like it drives us crazy. Yeah.
I just wanted to tell you that because I don't think you realized how much of an impact that little comment that you made that I think about you all the time. Like when I'm lecturing, I'm like, oh, Cynthia would say I repeated myself too much. Cynthia's on my mind.
No, but I don't think you should see it as a bad thing, because trust me, it's not a bad. I said that out of all form of respect and love for you.
I don't think it was a bad thing. It was a moment of pause. Like I took a moment of pause and I was like, I hope they don't think that I think that they're stupid or something. Like, because I've been teaching for many moons I've been teaching. And even though I repeat myself as many times as I do, I still have people that'll say, what was that thing? And when do we have to do that thing? So maybe I'm just not repeating the right things. I don't know. Anyways, that's the impact that you had on me. And then I also remember one of our last classes together, we had like a potluck where we golfed and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember you being on your phone, like vlogging or at least recording yourself. And I was like, this chick is a vibe. I need to follow her. I need to know what she's doing. So let's rewind a little bit. Tell the audience where you're from, who's your biggest influence in your sort of decision to bringing you to where you are today. Like, tell us your origin story.
Okay. My name is Cynthia, as you guys know. I'm originally from Nigeria.
Nice.
Actually, yeah, I'm a Nigerian and an Igbo.
Okay.
From the
we have another guest that was from Nigeria. And
yes. I'm from the eastern parts of Nigeria. Yeah. So
what's that part called?
It's that Igbo culture.
Igbo culture.
Yeah,
okay.
Igbo. Yeah. It's a different part of culture in Nigeria. So actually, the reason why I came to Canada, I can't really pinpoint like say this is the reason or this is not the reason. But I'm just going to be specific here now because of the podcast. So one, it's for career growth. Two, it's for exposure. Yeah, I really want to see something different I'm that kind of person, right? So I just like trying something challenging, something different from what the regular me. So Nigeria was a place I grew up, went to my nursery, pre-nursery, daycare, my whole life, university. So I think it was time to like push myself forward, like do something out of the ordinary. So I'm married. I spoke with my husband. I came to Canada when my baby boy was just a year old.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So it was a very challenging.
How old were you when you got married? Because you're like 18.
No, don't say that. A lot of people say that. I don't know why. Like
you have such a young aura about you. Like,
a lot of people say that. I'm 31.
No, honestly, I would have pegged you for like 26.
Yeah, I know that you're not the only one, so I'm surprised. A lot of people say that.
You have such a young vibe about you. Okay, so all right, you left when your baby boy was 1 year old.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you have more than one child?
No, I just have a son.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Why did he not come with you?
Oh yeah. It's challenging, to bring the whole family.
I have no idea what the process is, so I'm sure there's like flaming hoops of fire.
Yes, so much hooks and crooks and a lot of like just so much
steps and paperwork and blah. Yeah.
There's so much finance to it, and you have to like convert your own currency to the Canadian currency, which is like crazy. So there wasn't that financial strength or sustainability to like push my whole family here. So
and your husband was like, spread your wings, mama.
It wasn't that easy for him too, because my husband is not also the talker kind of person. He holds things in mind, but I know and I knew it was a challenging thing for him to, because we just started our family. We just had our first child together, so we're just like...
Did he think you were crazy when you said, husband, I want to go to Canada and learn about health administration?
No, funny enough, he didn't think I was crazy. Like,
good. Bless him.
Yeah. He's one cool dude.
I bet. He has to be cool to be in love with you.
Yeah. He's one cool dude. And I'm so lucky to have him in my life, because he's like somebody that just my ride or die. He like pushes me to like do things,
like
even if it's going to be something that it's going to affect him emotionally, but seeing that it's something that's going to make me happy. He's always happy when I'm happy. I think that's his joy. So
can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure, please.
Are your parents-in-law, like his parents, are they a part of the equation?
Oh yeah.
Are they supportive of you being here?
It wasn't really that support. Like it was my parents, yeah.
Your parents, yes.
But his parents.
I guess my question is like, who's raising your baby boy while you're here?
It's my mom.
Your mom.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bless mom.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
My goodness.
I took him to my mom, and I did the most hardest thing I've never done in my life.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I can't imagine.
The day I was to leave, because I went to my dad's house, my parents' house with my son. So I was to leave to another different, they call it province here, but we call it state in Nigeria. So I was to go to another state to get my flight and come to Canada. And I knew within myself, if I woke my son up because he slept with me, I knew if I had woken him up, I wouldn't have been able to take a footstep out of that. So
my heart is breaking.
That was like the hardest thing.
My heart is breaking.
That was like the hardest thing I did. So I didn't wake my son up that night.
You
that
just
morning.
quietly
I just
snuck off into the darkness.
Yeah, and left. And truthfully, I cried all throughout the flight. It was a 22 to 23 hours flight, but I cried all throughout the flight.
You're going to make me cry.
Yeah, so that was like the most hardest decision I've ever made. So I've made crazy decisions, trust me. And I'm one to
I
make
don't
crazy
think there's
decisions.
many things that trump that.
Yeah,
like,
but
wow.
Leaving my baby boy behind and coming here was a lot of people say you're a strong girl, you're a strong lady, you can rock it like you're doing it, like I don't know how you do it, but truthfully, Prof, it was the hardest thing for me.
I can't imagine.
Today, it's still the hardest thing for me because I can still recount, or I can still reflect on that day. And it's a day that I don't want to relive again, because if you take me back, I don't want to leave my son.
No.
So
would you do it differently? Would you change? Like, you've done it now.
Yeah.
You've done it now. You're here.
Yeah. So, but if I'm to turn back the hands of time and make a different choice, I would carry my son along with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, so I'm not a mother.
Yeah.
I can't even pretend to know. But like, I understand that people say you don't even know the definition of love until you've experienced the love of a child, or like how much you can love a child. And so that it does take an incredible amount of guts to do what you've done.
Yeah.
Is it panning out for you? Like your dream of coming here and building a life for yourself? How are you feeling it's going?
Would I say it started off rough? Yeah.
What were some of the things that you experienced when you first came here?
Loneliness.
Oof. Yes.
Confusion.
Confusion about your decision to come, regret.
Yeah, regrets.
Oh, okay.
I got to a point where I think I started regretting
what have I done? Why am I here?
My life choices. I questioned my life choices. Like, did I make the right choice? What am I actually doing here? Like, is this Canada at the end of the day? This is Canada, right? So what is this, right? So,
what is this?
Yes.
Seriously.
Yeah. So at first it was like that. I got lost in so many ways. I got lost in myself because I had to start reconfiguring my life all over again. I got lost in my career too, which is something else to discuss entirely. I got lost in my personal, my mental health got affected. That was like the height of it. My family and...
have they come to see you? Have you been here by yourself?
Yeah. So it's been a ride for the past 2 years now. Yeah, it's been fulfilled. We've succeeded in little ways, but we failed woefully. Yeah. So
what were you doing before? Because you weren't like a fresh new graduate, like fresh out of primary school. You came here with already having had a bit of a career before coming here. So what were you doing before you came?
Back home I was a medical laboratory scientist, but here you guys call it technologist.
Okay.
So but back home we call it scientist because we do more of diagnosis and some research here. So I was into the medical microbiology. sector.
Okay.
Yeah, so
you worked in a lab, you wore a lab coat,
yeah,
petri dishes and beakers and stuff?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, hormonal assay, LFT, EUC.
Yeah, all of the acronyms. Yeah. Okay.
Did all that.
How long was your schooling?
6 years with clinical hospital placements.
Tell me about the education system in Nigeria. Like, do you pay for higher education?
Oh yeah, you pay from the pocket. Everything from when you're still a child to whenever you're.
Really? So it's like private school when you're little?
No, even the government school you pay. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
So, it's a payment for service kind of.
Did you always do well in school?
Yeah, I won't really say I was the best in class, so let me not cap myself.
I can't talk to that. I have no idea. I've never taught you before in my life.
Yeah, so, but I won't actually say I was the Dundee also in class, but I think academically, I'm okay. Yeah, I challenge myself academically. If I want to get it done, I can get it done. Yeah.
What about extracurricular stuff? Did you play sports, play an instrument, arts? What were you into when you were young?
I actually played sport. I played football, soccer here it's called. I played...
What position? I played soccer too.
Okay, I played number 5.
But like midfield, forward, defense,
no,
goalie, defense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was defense, yeah. Nice. So I did that all throughout college, like first year to final year. I represented my school in so many inter competition and
cool
international states and the rest. So I did that all throughout. Yeah. So I was really into soccer. So I think I stopped when I finished school and started pursuing my career as a whole. Yeah. So. And
when did you start being interested in fashion? Like, when did you start to develop a little style of your own? Do you recall? When I don't know, because I'm really hearing it from you, because I just I see something nice. I think I can identify something nice that suits my style. When you were little, did you get excited to pick out your clothes for the day? Yes, I like that. So did I. Yeah. I love picking out my clothes for the day. Yeah, definitely. My mom really had a problem with me with that, because she had like this kind of pattern. You would want to wear something completely different. So we were actually conflicting ourselves every morning. Did you have to wear a uniform in school? Oh yes. Oh, see, I didn't have to wear a uniform in school, so I could also express myself through my clothes in like grade school and stuff. I really started wearing different fashion and stuff around, I don't know, I think I probably really started getting interested in it around puberty, like when I actually cared about what I was wearing and matching things or not matching things. I love your sense of dressing, Professor. Yeah, because whenever you come to class, actually, whenever you are to teach us that day, I'm actually curious about what you wear. Yeah, because it's not something obsessive. Actually, it's curiosity because of your personality, your lifestyle. You understand? So it's like you make me personally curious. So your sense of vintage fashion is nice. Yeah. You know, I actually heard that there is a little bit of a science behind what you wear when you teach and how well the students will retain the information, because if you're wearing something that's a little bit more eye-catching, they'll pay more attention to you. So I don't know that I'm not out here wearing like a clown costume in front of you, but like I will be silly. Like I'll wear something a little bit more casual, or like I'll be intentional about being casual because maybe the conversation that day is hard. Like maybe the lecture is heavy that day, so I'll be a little bit more casual in my dress or whatever. I remember the class that I taught you, and I remember one of the lectures talking about culture and diversity, and I don't know if you'll remember this, but it's part of my thing in that lecture is talking about how much bravery it takes to relocate yourself to a brand new country and try to establish yourself there. And every semester I thank the class, thank you for being here, thank you for coming to crap hole London. Like, you don't know it yet, but London sucks. I'm sure that actually did that in healthcare administration. You, Professor Lecky in law, she does medical law. Yeah, she does that too. I have to. And also Professor Tina Ford. Yeah, we have to. Yeah, three of you do that. Thank you for coming here. You don't realize it yet, but London sucks. You didn't have a real winter last winter. What do you think of this winter? Oh my God. Yeah. It's crazy. It's wild. It's something else.
I feel like this is actually the first time I'm actually experiencing winter. Because
because last winter
wasn't anything.
No, last winter was compared to this. Like,
the snow almost took me out one certain day. I was coming back from school at night, and I was like, what is this? What am I doing here? Is this the country? Like, how do you guys survive this? Like, seriously, this is insane.
It is. And London is in the snow belt, so you get dumped in London. Like, it's a dump truck of snow.
Yeah, it was so surprising because I went to Toronto like 2 weeks ago, and it was kind of, I didn't even see like a snow on the floor or something. Like, it was okay.
Well, it's a little bit warmer in the larger cities because of the pollution.
Oh my God.
So it doesn't snow as much because of the heat that emanates from the city. So Toronto gets snow. Don't get me wrong. Like, I lived in Toronto for 10 years. So Toronto gets snow, but I think because of the heat of that exudes from the buildings and from the city and emissions and blah blah blah, I think that has something to do with it. And they're relatively good in comparison to other municipalities around snow removal.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense now.
And not only that, but London, where you live, is very hard, in my opinion, for public transit.
Oh my God.
Because everything is so spread out. Are you using exclusively public transit?
Yeah, it's so hard because there was this day I had to stay like 45 minutes waiting for the bus.
Stupid.
Yeah, it was crazy. This was like day before yesterday. Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me because it's a university city. It's a college city. Like, it's a blue collar kind of city.
And do you know the most surprising and fascinating thing? I don't really understand what the London officials, the mayors and the rest are doing in that country, because that country has a very good population of students, right? We have the Western University there, we have the Fanshawe. These are two big universities and colleges. Yeah. We also have Anderson College. We also have this small
I'm sure there's other smaller colleges too.
Like the city is packed
with kids, like not kids, students,
right? And the transportation system there is trashed.
Oh, it's awful.
Like, okay, fine. I feel like if they want to improve something in their transportation system, they should have like, this, how do you guys call it? The shade where people stand.
Yeah, like a bus terminal, like a little terminal thing.
Yeah, a little terminal that people can just go in there. Do you know half of the streets?
None of them have them.
Yeah,
it's just a pole with a sign.
Yeah, just a pole with a sign, which is really bad because of the weather there is terrible, right?
Oh my God,
it's a terrible weather in London. And I feel like the community or the officials, the mayors and all the public service officials should really look into something like that. And like, it's not all about telling us improving weather stuff, because the election just finished recently, and when you look at their manifesto, you're hearing things like do this, they'll do that, they'll do this. Like, we have so many pressing issues in London than what you see in their manifesto, and I feel like anyway
the mental health population in London is insane.
Do you go to downtown to really see what is happening there?
Listen, I don't know if I've ever told anybody this, but I worked at London Health Sciences for 2 weeks. I leveraged, it's a long story, but I worked in the hospital there for 2 weeks. I got offered another job making more money, and I didn't even finish my orientation. I quit London because I didn't like what I saw. It was scary. In the mental health part of that, sorry to anybody that works at London Health Sciences, but like the mental health area of that emergency department is terrifying. It's like these big, heavy jail doors with just these tiny little peephole window. Oh my gosh. Like, anyway, that wasn't the main reason why I left, but I remember seeing like the patient population, and I actually grew up in Sarnia, which is not very far from London. It's like just down the road, basically. And when I tell you, like, the homelessness in London,
it's crazy. It's, my God, like it's so crazy, and it's so scary, one, because okay, when you get your package, for instance, when you get your package delivered to you and you're not home, you know, they just drop it at the door, right? The package people, and
like Amazon or whatever.
Yeah, Amazon.
Whatever you order online. Yeah.
And you're so scared because we've lost a lot of packages. Right?
The homeless people steal them.
Yeah. They come there, they just pick your stuff up like that. And I don't know.
Do you live downtown London?
Yeah, I live close to downtown, right? Yeah, so it's scary because I'm already planning to move out now because I don't think I can.
You're going to move to Cambridge.
Something has to bring me to Cambridge. But seriously, guys, I love Cambridge. You guys need to come to Cambridge. It's really nice.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. I hear you because delivering packages here. This is also downtown. Like technically where we are is downtown.
Is downtown.
Technically downtown.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Why is it so quiet? Oh my God.
I don't know, but same thing. Like having packages left on the front. Like I get it. The homeless population. My car's been broken into 6 times.
Oh, you see?
Yeah. So don't think that it's just London where there's theft and whatever, but like mental health, drug addiction. Tell me, is it similar in Nigeria? Do you see just homeless people cracked out on the street in Nigeria?
Yeah, but will I say, it's not really like you see them. How do I put it? I think what I
acting crazy in the streets.
Yeah. It's not really that popular. Yeah,
okay.
I'm saying this.
It's more so like hidden behind the scenes kind of stuff happening.
Yeah,
whereas like you could literally walk out on the road right now and somebody could be freaking out and yelling on the street, and you're like, that's just a drug addict.
Yeah, but
like,
it's there, but it's not like crazy as it is here. So because I won't say they are sent over there. No, trust me, they are far from it. But it's not really as crazy here. Yeah. So, but I think they have a way of containing it over there. I don't know how to do it, but yeah, it's kind of contained over there.
I have not as much experience in London. I mean, all of my parents' medical care had been out of the hospitals in London. So I worked at the hospitals for 5 minutes before I took another opportunity. But I don't regret that decision at all. Like it was, I believe that every opportunity comes and whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've talked about your feelings initially when you came here as maybe feeling like you had a little bit of regret or, you were questioning why you're here. Where are you at today? Like, where's your head at today in that decision?
Yeah, I think right now, will I say recently, I've been doing a lot of self-improvement.
What does that look like?
I've been like challenging myself more. I've been really working hard on my mental health.
Good.
Yeah, I was telling my husband the other day that I'm at this point in my life where I don't really give an F what you think about me.
Yeah. I love that.
Initially, I wasn't at this point, but I've worked so hard. I've gone through a lot.
Yes.
I've battled so much demons to be able to come out of that as part of my life and be where I am right now. And that is why I'd say most of your videos are really inspirational. I don't know if you're aware of it, but you inspire me in so many ways. Like I watch your videos, I watch your stories, you talk about mental health, you bring yourself out on camera, you're so vulnerable, and we watch you. And when we go back to our quiet time, we reflect on these things we watch. We'll be like, people are actually making moves to improve their lives. People are actually passing through problems and actually putting in the work to do better, to be the better version of themselves. So how much more me? Why can't I do it? Why can't I be like Professor Shannon? Why can't I do this stuff? Why can't I work on my mental health?
I'm not paying her to say this, by the way.
No, she's not. Like, why can't I improve myself mentally? Because I feel like if you're mentally stable where you want to be, you can think straight, you can actually do more for yourself and for people around you than what you think you're doing right now. So I had to prioritize myself first. It's not like I don't pay attention to people, but before I pay attention to you, I'll have to pay attention to myself.
Yes.
Am I displeasing myself to please you? If I'm doing something that it's going to take something out of me just to give to you, I don't think I can do that. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Our time and our energy are so precious.
Yeah.
And I think it's a sign of real maturity when you can finally accept
that's
that.
what my husband said. He said, you're not growing here.
Yeah, that's a huge sign of maturity when now you're able to set boundaries and not feel guilty for setting boundaries.
Yeah.
Like setting boundaries is the most healthy thing that you can do for yourself. And if a circumstance or a person or a situation is not right for you, if when you set boundaries, that circumstance gets mad at you for setting boundaries, or it repels against you for setting boundaries.
And you lose friends also, you know that, right?
Family members.
Lose family members, you lose friends. Yeah,
frick.
because I've lost a few of them when I started prioritizing myself first. It felt like I've become egocentric.
Yeah.
It felt like I've become self-centered. So a lot of people think I was selfish.
But do you think that you were being selfish?
No. I just think I'm prioritizing myself now. And okay, how about the times I've never prioritized myself? Was I actually selfish or no? Because it was actually favoring you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When I was being a people pleaser and I was bending my will to make you happy and forgetting about all of my needs.
I was that good person.
Then you really liked me. But when I started to prioritize myself, you didn't like that because it no longer was a favor to you. Yeah.
Why I said this is because that was like one of the hardest things I could work on, because I had to work so hard to be at this point of my life where I could say no to something. Because initially, I am always this person that, okay, no problem, I'll see how I'll make it work. Like, you just go around the circle and like repeat. It's crazy. And you find at the end of the day, you're not actually happy doing what you're doing. Yeah, so I had to like flush that thing out of my system. And I feel like when I'm healthy, mentally, physically, otherwise, I can actually be of good benefit to you. I can actually work well for you. I can actually reason well for you and your situation. Not the other way around. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah.
Because when you spend your life living for other people and prioritizing other people, you start to resent the situation that you're in, because you're not following your truth. You're following the truth that you have, that's been created for you by other people's expectations or other people's entitlement or
imaginary stuff going on people's head concerning you. And not caring what people say actually is another good thing. I do say, like, I never knew adulthood is this interesting. I don't know if you saw that comment I posted on your page that I just like the way you always when you just did this crazy hairstyle, like the purple one. When you went to change this purple hairstyle, I was like, oh my God, I just love this woman for this. Like, she just don't care.
I used to have crazy hair. You want to know? Like, I used to have crazy ass hair, and then I started seriously taking my career, and I was like, nope, I have to have brown hair. I have to have long brown, plain, boring hair. I have to fit in. I have to wear business casual suits and I started to try to fit myself into a box. I tried to tone myself down so that I could fit in with the status quo. Yeah. And I just hit a breaking point. I was like, I haven't felt like myself. Like, I don't know. I just
suffocating. That's the truth.
It's suffocating when you feel like you have to stifle yourself or filter yourself or make yourself smaller so that other people aren't threatened by you. Like, I don't like that. Or at least it took me a very long time to realize that I was even doing that. And then when you start to step outside of the status quo, then you start to really quickly realize who are your people and who are not your people.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. You get to know the genuine, real friends you have, because these are people that actually want what's best for you, and they actually follow you and work with you with yourself, with your mental health, with your career, with whatever vision you're pursuing at that point in time. Like, you're real people when you see people that appreciates the fact that you're trying to prioritize yourself and also fit people into yourself also. So I think right now I just have few circle of friends.
I was just going to ask, do you have a big friend group or a smaller friend group?
No, I don't. I've never had right from...
Me neither. I've always had a very small friend group.
I've never...
I'm very weird in big groups.
Yes. Yeah.
I am so much better. I've said this a million times. You might think
but
that
you look like a big group of kind of person.
Oh, no. Oh my God. The 2 hours that I tolerate standing in front of a class is purely because I know that I get connection with a couple of those people, but it's very exhausting to me to be in a group of people. I prefer small one-on-one, small group, intimate. It's way
easier
better
for me to connect with them. It's way easier.
Better. That's good. Okay, so let's talk a little bit. What did your parents do for work? I'm curious to know, because you say that you have a good relationship with your parents. What were their careers?
Actually, I came from a family of scholars.
Okay.
Yeah. So my dad is a professor like you.
Okay.
Up to the point of his doctorate degree. And
nice.
Yeah. So,
what did he study, or what is his practice?
Yeah, he did a lot of research and a lot of paperwork on physical and health education.
Nice.
Yeah, so he lectured that for a long time. Yeah, I think he did more things again. You know, this kind of professors did like this. So I got lost along the line pursuing his career.
We're all doing 100 bajillion things.
Yeah, I started facing my own. So I don't really know whatever he went into again. But I know
we're proud of you, Dad.
Yeah, I'm really proud of him because he's one of the reasons I push myself so high because he's this go-getter. And my mom too.
Okay,
yeah,
what does she do?
Yeah, she's a nurse.
Nice.
She just went right now. She's like a director of nursing right now in the States. In my country, so she's like that big part in her career right now. So, and my dad is retired, but my mom is still actively in service. So you can see that I come from a family of scholars, and they're all bookworms.
Do you think that you're more like your mom or more like your dad?
Will I say a little bit of them, both?
Yeah.
Because
all of the best qualities of both of them.
Yes. Yeah. My dad is a very strict. Purposeful person. Yeah, you've got to do this right. You've got to study. You have to check your finance. You have to do this. Like, he's that kind of person. While my mom is a little bit flexible. You can just party a bit. You're okay to dress well.
Okay, she's a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah,
that's good. It's balance, right? Everything in balance.
So I get this strict nature from my dad because actually I'm strict with a lot of things.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't get that vibe about you.
Yeah, no, that's the truth.
So you would say you're more type A than type B?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am about some things. Some things I'm very type A, other things I'm not so type
Yeah, but I'm more type A than type B.
Do you have siblings?
Oh, yes. We are 7 in
What is this with all of these people from Nigeria with 100 siblings? This must be a Nigerian thing because you do not see families in Canada with 7 children. Are there 7 plus you 8?
No.
Oh, 7.
Yeah.
So what's how many boys, how many girls?
Oh, 4 boys, 3 girls.
Where do you fall in the line?
I'm the second.
Second. Is the oldest a boy?
Yes.
Okay, so you're the oldest woman, oldest female.
Yeah, so it's called Ada.
Ada?
Yeah.
Okay.
The oldest female in my culture is called Ada.
Oh, I'm an Ada too, although I don't have a relationship with my siblings any longer. But wow, we resonate then being the oldest girl. I was the oldest, but being the oldest girl is different, even though there's a boy above you.
Trust me, it's different. It's totally
what
different.
makes it different?
Yeah, what I say, females have this tendency of, will I say, carrying some family burdens. Yeah. So,
yes.
And what I say is kind of family reliability. Like, family mostly rely on the females than on the males. I think it's our kind of openness and acceptance nature. Yeah, I think, yeah. So
also, if you were the first girl, how your parents would have just been learning how to be parents.
Yes.
So I don't know if you experienced this, but like my parents were so strict with me, like so strict.
I don't know. I think definitely because my both parents follow all my social media handles, so I think they're going to watch this definitely when it comes out officially. I do tell my mom this, and Mom, I know you're going to watch this. The way they handled me and my elder brother, it's
night and day.
Yeah, it's
so
not
different.
It's not the way they handled my last born, and
same.
So they were so strict. My dad was so strict with me. He's watching this right now. I know he's going to watch
Dad.
this. My dad was so strict.
Dad, you were strict, but don't worry, my dad was strict too.
He was so strict. You got to do your assignments on time. You have to do, like, we didn't have any time for rest after. During the summer holiday, right? Good. A lot of students rest. Some go for vacations. My dad go roll you in an extracurricular activity. Like,
that's the academic in him.
Like, what the hell?
That's the academic in him.
Then I used to be really pissed off, but right now I think I'm really appreciating the effort.
That's so funny. I say the same thing. I hated it.
I hated it so much.
God.
Like, Dad, I just finished school, and my dad would be like, "Oh yeah, your math teacher is coming to start very soon." Like,
oh yeah, no, my parents were like, I had a 9:00 p.m. curfew until grade 12. My younger siblings, like, they didn't even have curfews. They didn't have chores.
No.
They didn't have anything.
I think it comes with the age when they like, as you said, they were starting.
Maybe they just get lazy. For 7 of them, like by the time the 7th, they're like, "What? You good? You alive? You still breathing? Okay."
So I think he got tired at the end of the day and be like, oh, I think I'm done with the four set of people I've put so much work.
Have you heard of the saying, like, choose which hills you die on? Like, you can't die on every hill. So by the seventh kid, the hills, you're like, I've already died on that hill. I'm not dying on that hill again. Just stay alive. That's all you need to do. Oh my God.
It's so crazy because right now I come to think of it. I told my dad this a couple of months ago because I talk with him a lot, and I told him right now I think I really appreciate what you and mommy did for us when we were actually growing up, because right now I'm kind of resonating, and those trainings, those disciplines are like what is shaping me and what is actually pushing me towards putting myself out there. Yeah.
Does it kind of scare you to think how different young people are being raised today in comparison to the way we were raised? Like, we're not that far apart. We're 7 years different.
Yeah.
But like, I look at the way this young generation, like Gen Alpha generation, I just saw a reel the other day that was talking about how they can't even hold pencils, and that their like development is so strained because of.
Why are you even being surprised? Like,
I'm not surprised.
Like, can't you see what is happening? Like, these kids use tablets the whole day.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even know how to brush their teeth themselves.
Yeah. Basic foundational skills.
Nada.
There was another one. They were talking about even like core strength, like being able to lift things and being able to play sports and stuff. No. Like, it's terrifying.
It's very terrifying. And I told my husband that one certain time that we have to really pay attention, because the kids of these days, oh my God.
Well, good thing your son is being raised by your mom, who probably has like old school mentality. So
she's not doing anything, trust me. No, she's not.
She's not doing anything to ruin him.
No,
okay.
She's not that mentality now. She's not. She's hearing this. I know she's going to watch this. She's not doing anything
special.
My
goodness. Yeah, I bet you she's.
Yeah, I think when they become grandparents like that, they tend to like slow down. And try to like do things to like love, this lovey-dovey
lots of love and lots of caring.
They didn't do it those days.
You didn't get any of that.
No, they didn't do it.
Your son's getting the best version of her.
Oh my God. Sometimes I like wonder, are you really doing, I kept this boy for a reason. Like, you're not doing what is meant to, you're not really, this is not how you trained me, right? So she said, he's growing up. He will, she has excuses for everything.
Yeah.
When he does something, she has excuses.
Well, he's just doing it because.
Yeah. He's just 4 years old. Yeah. He will grow into it. But 4 years old, then my mom is going to discipline you very, very well. But right now, she makes excuses for my son. He's just still growing up. He's going to adjust into. He's going to grow into it. Just let it. Just take it easy with him. This kind of crazy stuff. And I told her,
Are there more kids for you in your future?
Yes, actually, but it took me a long time to actually be open to say this, because before I left Nigeria, we had this kid issue. My husband and his family, it was I say tug of war, a tussle for the both families for us. Yeah, my in-laws, which is his parents, wants me to like have to give birth to another child before I'm able to leave Nigeria. And actually, the birth process of my son was life-threatening for me. And
really,
yeah.
What happened? One of my best friends has a traumatic birth story too. So this is fascinating to me.
I don't know if it's a very, very, very traumatic story. And
did you have to have a natural birth or a cesarean?
No, I didn't have a natural birth. It was far from it. I had a cesarean section, which literally took me 12 hours. To come out of the theater. So it's
oh my gosh.
It was something I had. I was hyperglycemic. That's high blood sugar for those who understand. Sorry for the medical terms. So I had high blood sugar. It was so high that it also affected my baby.
Oh,
and
no.
So we had so much. There was so much drama at the end of the day. I didn't go into labor even up to 42 weeks. I was still.
So they decided to induce you?
Yeah, they decided to induce me. And even when they induced me, the later found out that the baby's heart couldn't, take take the pressure. The pain of induced is actually different from the pain of the natural labor. So it's just like forcing,
yeah,
like
your
forcing
body is not ready and you're forcing it to do ungodly things. Yeah.
So when they find out that my son could not really sustain that kind of pressure and force pain, his heart will not accept it, and he's going to die during the process. So they had to look for a way to bring out the pitocin out of me, and took me to the theater. And when they got to the theater,
I love the way you say that, theater. The theater. The surgical theater.
So when we went to the theater, and they give you they check your spinal cord for to give you the
epidural.
The epidural. No, I didn't really do epidural actually. No. So the anesthesia. Yeah. So the local anesthesia actually. So they like tried to paralyze me, and they were able to like paralyze the whole body. So they were able to successfully paralyze one part of my body, and the other parts wasn't. So I could actually feel the cuts.
No.
So it was a really traumatic experience, going through that pain from the surgical theater to where I was.
The recovery too.
So that was something I didn't want to go back into. Like I had this post-traumatic
trauma for sure
after birth, and family members couldn't understand. So I wasn't ready. So it took 2 years, or let's say 4 years now, because my son is 4 years old, to actually get ready. So
this was a COVID baby.
Oh yes, my son is a COVID baby.
Oh my goodness.
Call COVID baby, like call COVID baby.
So
2020, like call COVID 20.
Wowie. Okay, listen, like I know I'm not a mom. I love kids so much, but every time I hear stories like this, I'm like, absolutely not. Sorry, but like absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because I know just with my track record, it would be something like that times 10. Like there's just like always, and I don't think I would be able to mentally survive that. Like,
trust me, I think it was just my husband who could relate to the fact that I wasn't ready for another child. So I talked to him about it. So he had a way to like tell his family to back off. They say that women who have a natural birth and they bring this baby, and maybe there's some complications, but it's fine. They say within like months you forget about the pain and you forget about what it was like crowning and delivering the baby. But when you go through something like that, that's not a natural thing. No. That's trauma, literally. Yeah. Mine was trauma.
So I don't think it would be as easy for you to recover mentally from that traumatic experience.
It took me 4 years.
And thinking that your life was in the balance and that your son's life was in the balance. That's terrifying.
Yeah, so that was another reason when I was leaving him behind. I had to reminisce and remember everything I went through to give birth to him.
Yeah.
It broke me so well, like it broke me to pieces. So it was, I think that's part of the lowest point of my life.
Yikes. So you came here literally on the foundation of the lowest point of your life. Like when you arrived here, you were in the depths of despair. Yeah. So when you came here, you were literally at the lowest point of your life. You had just made like a huge life-altering decision to leave your son, and because as I said earlier, my family was just a virgin family, right? Like a very new family. Like I and my husband were figuring this parenting. How long had you guys been together before you got pregnant?
Will I say we were together, I think 2 years, because I met my husband in 2018, 2019, then I gave birth to my son in 2020 September.
Wow.
Yeah, so
you didn't even know each other for so long?
No. We didn't do all those years dating now. I think just 2 months to meeting my husband, and we connected, and we're like, let's take it to another level. And I'm always
when you know kind of thing. That's what it was.
That's the most fascinating thing about this with my husband, our connection. I think he was just created for me. I think so, because I don't think any human or any man can actually handle my craziness. Yeah.
I say this all the time.
Yeah, because I'm actually really crazy.
No.
I'm crazy in a lot of ways, and I'm passion driven and career driven, and I don't know if a man that is not afraid of a woman's success can actually handle my kind of personality. So if you're kind of person that is afraid of how far or how wild a woman can go career wise and success wise, both in business, investments, and everything, you can marry me, because
yeah.
At the point it will feel like I'm challenging you, or it will feel like I want to get ahead of you. So I do tell God, because actually I'm a Christian. So when I was about to really settle down for sure, I had this like special prayer request in my heart that I told God, I just want the man for me. Just don't give me somebody else's partner. Just pick my own. Just give me my own, because I know how crazy my mind is. I know how wild my creativity is, and I want to exploit this world, right? I don't want to be confined in being a mommy home woman, just giving birth to children and doing housewife stuff. No offense, please, to all the...
No, it takes a special kind of person to be able to do that.
Yeah, mothers are the real MVPs out there, and all the housewives out there are the real MVP, because to me, that's real work.
I
Staying home and taking care of children.
I think being a mother is the hardest job on the planet. Like, I don't think... I don't know how you stay sane. Yeah. I don't know how you don't lose your mind. Having these kids touching you all the time and demanding your time.
So much. And not just demanding so much.
Yes.
And most of them demand for the impossible. I don't know, this generation of kids demand for things you be like, how did you think about that? That kind of stuff.
It's so much.
Yeah, it's so much. So I felt like I wasn't that kind of mother that would be stuck in a box. So I was actually intentional about choosing my lifetime partner. So when my husband came along, and
how did you meet him? Where do I find one of those?
Oh, okay. It's actually fascinating, and it's crazy actually, and I don't know if actually I met my husband through his mom. Yeah, I didn't really know my husband per se.
Okay, so you didn't meet him on Tinder or something.
Bumble.
Nice. No. So you met him organically.
Yeah, through his mom. Yeah, I knew his mom. His mom was my patient. Oh, yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
And she was like, you're so lovely. You should meet my son.
Yeah, something.
Stop.
No, but that was how it happened. But actually, it wasn't that fast. I wasn't really open to meeting her son like that. Yeah.
Okay.
She was really persistent, actually. She pestered my life.
She handpicked you. She was like, she's just crazy enough.
Yeah, I don't really know. But the first time she came into the clinic, I was to attend to her and everything. And she was just looking at me. At the end of the day, she was like, where did you school? I mentioned my school. She said, oh, my son schooled in the same school too. Do you know my son? Oh, I was like, what year is your son? And when she called the year, and that was like way back, I was still like primary school when my husband was like graduates, and I was like, no, I don't know your son. But she was like, yeah, that's my son went to your school. That's his alma mater. I was like, oh, cool. Can I have your contact? No. So... she put in a really good effort. Like, his mom tried for him. Like, I always tell him, I say, you need to thank your mom.
Your wingman.
Yeah.
She was his wingman, kind of like indirectly.
Yeah, but the good thing about it is, when actually I finally got the chance to speak with my mother-in-law now, which was my patient then, so she said, okay, that she would really like me to meet her son, and I shouldn't take it personal. I shouldn't put it into too much thought into it, that if it doesn't work out, she's okay with it, but she just wants us to just meet. She said, just meet.
She could feel it. Mother's intuition.
Yeah, she said, just meet. Just give one chance. If it doesn't work, then it's good. Everybody goes their way, and you don't have to just meet, right? I said, okay, no problem. So,
but did you see a picture of him or anything?
No.
It was a blind?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Blinded, so
this kind of thing doesn't happen, by the way. Like, this is a miracle unicorn story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My husband is so special to me, seriously.
He's special to me.
So, but the day I was actually to meet my husband for the first time, I was at work, and he came to my city because he wasn't in the city, and I was in the same city with his mom. So he came to my city. I was to go pick him at the park. That's the bus stop. Here they call it bus stop. We call
Not
it
at
park.
the theater.
Yeah.
You didn't go to the theater for your date?
So I went to pick him at the bus stop, and the moment I saw my husband, the first time I actually saw him, in his vulnerability, in his person, in just him being him. He wasn't doing anything special. He wasn't wearing anything special. He was just like there, just an ordinary person. I had this peace of mind within me. Like there's this cold, chill breeze. I just knew that I think I'm home. I think I'm home. I think it's. But I was dating someone then. I was in a very serious relationship.
Oh my!
A very serious one. But when I saw my husband,
that's spicy.
Yeah, but when I saw my husband that day, I just knew that this is home. This is home.
So, did you go and break up with your boyfriend right away? What did you do?
No, it was one of the craziest periods
You were
of my
like,
life.
okay, there's my husband. Better go see my boyfriend.
No, he was not my husband then. He was just somebody I'm meeting for the first time, right?
I know, but you said you felt a cold breeze.
Yeah,
and he was your person, and you were like, well, I gotta go see my boyfriend now.
Yeah. So, but it was a little bit of conflict in my life. That year.
Oh,
yeah, that was a very conflicting relationship-wise part of my life.
So, I have to ask, like, how long were you in that relationship? The one that, you were already in, you said it was very serious. Why did you know that person wasn't for you?
Oh, yeah. So
because they couldn't handle your crazy? Like, why did you know?
Will I say, he wasn't serious. He wasn't serious with me. He was serious with himself and his career. Yeah, but he wasn't serious with me. And will I say, I wasn't feeling this connection and this vibe with us. I wasn't really sure I could hand my future to him. Like, that was like a delicate part of me that I'm put in somebody's hands, and I wasn't sure he was that person to handle such kind of delicate aspect of me, which is my future, which is my career, which is my life, which is my lifestyle. In general, is the lifestyle that's really important. Yeah, I wasn't really sure because, as I said, I didn't want a man who is going to box me, because that is the mentality of most African men, especially in my country. They like to box their wives to this pattern. There's this pattern, the imaginary pattern they have. You be a mom, give birth to my children, do what I say.
Barefoot in the kitchen, make me a sandwich.
Yeah, you understand? So I didn't. I was really scared of that, because I knew within me I was going to do great things for myself. Yeah. So. And we weren't just connecting that way. So, but I was still in the relationship.
How long had you been together?
Like 3 years.
Oof,
yeah. But
okay.
3 years of your life that you keep questioning every day. And that was why I said it. I'm so happy where I am today mentally, because I've worked so hard to be here. I've been where I had to please people. I have to stay in relationship I know wasn't meant for me. I have to make decisions to benefit people rather than myself. So right now, it's not me. It's not me. Yeah. Right now, it has to favor me.
Yeah.
If it doesn't favor me, I'm not just gonna do it. Yeah, that's just it.
I hear that. So, I feel that in my bones.
Yeah. So that was how the relationship was with the other guy. I was there when I knew it was not gonna work out. Yeah, it was a choice I needed to make to leave, but I don't know what was keeping me there, right?
Isn't that weird how we kind of get stuck in these situations where it's not the right thing, but taking the step or doing the thing or having the conversation to, I don't know. I've been there. It sucks.
I don't know whether it's will I say mental insecurity?
Yeah, you get,
I don't know,
comfort. You get stuck in the comfort and the routine and the consistency and the
same pattern, the same.
But I don't know about you, but I've realized in my old age that I cannot be stuck in my comfort zone. I feel the most uncomfortable when I'm stuck in the cycle of comfort.
Yeah, I don't know.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
When I'm in my comfort zone, I'm like, get get me out of here.
Yeah.
It's fine for 1 minute, and then I'm like, next, get out, gotta go, can't be here anymore.
Yeah, that's why.
New.
That's why it's kind of crazy, because my siblings somehow they're like, I'm so crazy. Like, I do a lot of things at the same time. Like this year, right now, I'm pursuing so many things at the same time. I just started my podcast, my channel. Yeah.
Yes, we could talk about that.
Yeah.
What else are you doing? Then we'll talk about the podcast.
Yeah, I just I started actually learning how to trade crypto. Yeah, so
girl, move to Cambridge. We'll start trading crypto.
Really? Yeah. Okay. See, so I started trading crypto, started investing in crypto, bitcoins, and the rest. Yeah. So I've never, for once in my life, ever thought of going into such kind of financial sector or even financial investments, because I feel like it's so complicated, it's so challenging.
But if you figure it out, you can make a lot of coin.
Yeah, so I try to challenge myself to go into that right now, and like I think I'm like learning new things. I'm connecting more with people. I'm like putting myself out there more.
You said on the way here that you had a TikTok video get like 22,000 views or something. What was the video? Do you remember which one like went viral? I guess that's viral.
Oh yeah. What
was the video on?
I think
was it the one where you were dancing around in your bedroom?
No. That got like 1,000 views. No. Okay, this was a video where I actually posted the vulnerable part of my life.
People want to see that.
Yeah, I think that's what people really want to connect with. Yeah, it was like I actually like told a story and gave a lesson at the end of the story. Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, it's like I was trying to like put out a message out there.
What was the like? Just give us the Cole's notes.
Okay. So
now I'm gonna have to go watch it. But
yeah, but it's a story about how I became diabetic in Canada. Yeah, the stress, the pressure, and everything I went to at the point in my life whereby I became ill mentally, physically, and so because I worked so hard to pay the outrageous school fees for international students.
Outrageous school fees, yes.
So I neglected my health. I neglected myself just in pursuit to satisfy the college's demands and everything. So I left myself bare, and it affected me health-wise, mentally, physically, and otherwise. That I was in the lowest point in my life. And I feel like a lot of international students doesn't know this, but the school actually has like an insurance plan for healthcare where students can actually go and leverage on. So that was what the video was all about. So like international students should be able to like ask the school if they are able to connect or be able to access this health insurance.
I don't think international students realize how much they're paying for as a part of their tuition.
Yeah,
like I think they just think that their tuition is just their classes.
Yeah,
but there's so many services and supports. Now I'm not saying they're all the best. They're not all the best, but it's something.
Yeah. And a lot of international students doesn't know this. So I just put out a video, and at the end of the video I was like, go to your school, check out yourself. Like something might be wrong with you and you feel like you're okay moving around, but when you go for actual checkups and blood works and the rest, you find out that, oh, you're having this, you're doing this, or something is this, you understand? So
you want to know one of the things that blows my mind is international students that literally bring a suitcase full of pharmaceuticals and like medication and stuff in their suitcase. Did you do that?
Yeah, I did that too. I did
because
that.
you don't know when you get here what the comparable drug will be. So you're like, okay.
Apart from that, you don't even know if you have access to it, right? That was what a lot of, like, I for one didn't even know I was have access. Okay, but when I was diagnosed with diabetes and the doctor was like, okay, you need to start your 1,500 milligrams of metformin every single day, January to December. You don't have to keep it. Like, I live on drugs now, right? So I'm like, what? Can I afford, like, what? How can I afford this? Like, what? This 20 hours that's 20 hours a week, right? That's why I work. Doctor, I work 20 hours a week. How do I afford
I can't work more than that.
I can't work more than that. The doctor like, calm down, chill. You can actually access this with your healthcare, more care insurance. That's what I use. That's the healthcare I use. So you might be having a different one for your school, depending on where you go. So you're like, are you not using more care? I say, yes, I'm using more care. She's like, no, you can access this with more care. So
does it cover dental and stuff too? Or?
Oh yeah, but just once a year. Your dental is just once a year. Yeah. So I was really, really, really happy about that, because now Moke pays like 80% of my medication, and I pay like the remaining 20%. Yeah, so it's easier for me that way. So they take the chunk of it, so it still keeps me always refilled with my medications. And yeah, that was a video that went viral.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. So tell me about the podcast. I have to be honest, I haven't seen a full episode, but I've seen clips. So what's the podcast called?
Okay. Yeah, I recently started a podcast. Actually, I've been working on it for a very long time, but the demanding nature of international students is so much.
Eesh, yeah, it's a lot.
The homework, the classes, everything is too much and everything. So I wasn't really fully committed to it. But this year, I decided to like push myself, stretch myself a bit to do some things that I'm not really used to doing. Yeah, so I started a podcast called Fat Talk with Everest. Yeah, Fat Talk in the sense that Everest is my dad's name. Yeah, it's but his name has a meaning, so that's why I love his name so much.
What does his name mean?
You know the Mount Everest, right?
Yes.
So it's like you have this bosom like amounts of possibilities out there. You know how big the mountain is. Not one of the biggest mountain in the world right now, because I heard there's another one again. But it's the biggest mountain, right? So you have this bunch of opportunities out there in your imagination. It's what I say. I'm really, 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 really like, I love your imagination, imaginative nature. Yeah, because it's there. So I use the word Everest like, you come explore your imagination, like your life is just there. So it's a platform where I created for, will I say, people, but immigrants, but anybody can be featured there, but immigrants, we sit and we share our life stories, how we battle the demons we battle in these countries, and how we figure things out, and we just talk about things. And I don't know, who knows who is listening and who knows who's watching, and you might just find help when you think you don't need help. Yeah. So, and I also use that medium to also put out updates. Nice. For my followers and my community that I'm building, which is pretty good. Thank you guys so much. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, it's growing so fast. It's growing so fast in front of me, and I don't really know what to do about it. But
you just lean into it.
Yeah,
just
I don't
keep
know.
going.
My community is great. So I just bring out these updates. Like I do a lot of research in the background, and I feel like, oh, this is going to benefit a lot of people here in Canada, and both I put it out there.
I love it.
Yeah, so it's mostly about real life experience and updates. Yeah. So that's what I do. It's just to keep people informed, educative content.
So where do you post your content? Just for anybody out that's listening out there, where is your content posted?
Yeah, mostly right now I'm very active on Instagram. I'm very active on Facebook. I'm very active on my TikTok, okay. And also on my YouTube. So
on YouTube as well.
Just those 4 social medias. I don't do more than that.
Oh my goodness, 4 is enough. Believe me when I say I totally know. Managing social media is a lot. We're just going to take a quick break, everybody, and we'll be back in a flash. See you in a sec. All right. Everybody, welcome back. Thank you so much for the break. We are going to segue into our segments on the show. If you've watched the show before, you know that we do a couple of segments. The first one are the talking point cards. So Cynthia, we've got 3 themed talking point boxes here: generation, support, and resilience. Which theme appeals to you the most?
I'll go with support.
Support. All right. This box, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find I had like 14 kids here last weekend, and they were farting around with these boxes, and now I don't know if I'll be able to find Anyway, it's fine. We'll just blindly pick a color. What's your favorite color? Blue, red, yellow, green, or purple?
I'll go with blue.
Blue? Mm-hmm. All right. I'll pick a blue, and then you pick a blue. Sweet. You want me to ask first, or you want to ask first?
Oh, okay. You ask first.
I'll ask first.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is fun. What is your favorite place in the world? Where is your favorite place in the world?
Okay, this is so funny because I've never traveled anywhere before in the world, but
you came to Canada?
Yeah, Canada is like the first place. That's what I'm saying. It's so funny.
I don't know.
Do you know the most? What I think is fascinating about my life choices now, when I think about it clearly, is I would say dreams come true, Professor Shannon.
Yeah, they do.
Dreams come true. Because when I was really little, when I was actually growing up, I can never forget. I actually say Canada was my favorite country.
Really?
Yeah, that one day I'll be
And
in
what did
Canada.
you know about it for it to be your favorite?
Jack nothing. Like that was what I sit with myself and I reminisce about these things and I'm like, how did I come to this point of my life? Like,
Yeah.
what am I doing exactly? How did I get to Canada? I've talked about Canada so much, but now I'm here. What am I doing? Yeah, so I've actually wanted to be in Canada. I've actually wanted to come to Canada because to me it was one of my best countries. But right now, not actually the best country for
So
me.
it's not, Canada is no longer your favorite place. No.
No, but a place I would like to visit if I'm to like choose somewhere. I don't know if it's going to be my best because I plan to travel the world a lot. So, but I want to go to the Bahamas.
I've been to the Bahamas.
Okay, so-
Stunning. Expensive. Stunning.
But it's good, right?
Yeah, I went to, what the heck is the name of that place that they found underwater? Not Aquarius. Atlantis. I went to Atlantis and I did like a Bahamas cruise. I would recommend you go. It's
Okay.
beautiful.
Okay.
Stunning. Nassau is the main. Bahamas. So you're a beach girl.
Oh yeah, I love the beach.
Me too. I love
Yeah.
the beach.
Yeah,
I love the beach.
I'll
Awesome. Okay, well, I'll answer this. What is my favorite place? You're in it. This is it. This is my favorite place.
Oh my God, this place, I don't even.
I've been a lot of places and I've seen a lot of things, but home for me is it. Like I'm a homebody and I put a great amount of pride into my home. I've always I haven't obviously lived alone since I was a child, but when I first started living alone, had my very first apartment on my own, I just started to realize that I find a great amount of reward in having a comfortable home. I don't know
if it's strange, but it's like that with me too.
Yeah.
So when I came to Canada new, I hope it's not dividing from whatever.
No, continue.
Okay. So when I came to Canada new, when I got my first house, I say the house I share with people, students, lifestyle. So I got my room. When I come back from school, it's like yuck. My room, oh God, it used to be like the worst place for me to go because my room was just there.
And that was
that's why when I visited your home the first time, I really complimented it because it portrays you.
It feels like me. People say that.
Yeah,
people
it
say
portrays
that.
you.
But my home is also not cookie cutter. There's nothing gray and monochromatic about it.
No, it's just your style.
It's very vibrant. It's very colorful.
Yeah, it's very colorful.
And the lighting is very important for me.
Yeah.
I love coming home, and I haven't always lived in this space. This space is obviously very special to me, but the apartment that I lived in Toronto for 8 years, it was also my sanctuary too.
Yeah,
it was
I just knew that I had to do things for my room, so I started with getting a rug that I love so much. I saw it in the thrift store. I picked it up. I put it in my room. I said, okay, and I felt it's not there yet, but I think we're getting there.
Just the pop of color or whatever. Yeah,
I got a fish tank.
Nice.
Yeah, so I have a pet now. I take care of this fish. Yeah,
love that. Like a little Finding Nemo or a little goldfish.
Yeah. I gave it the name Goldie. So yeah, so it's a goldfish, and I love it so much. I got this art paintings I love so much. I put it
I have to feel like, I don't know, I'm a homebody. I don't know, this is the most cliche question to ask. What's your astrology sign?
Does you mean my zodiac sign?
Your zodiac sign, yeah.
I say I'm Aries.
You're Aries, okay.
So,
water sign. I'm a water sign.
Yeah.
No, Aries is not
Aries
water.
Is not water.
No.
So
okay, Aries.
So
interesting.
It's kind of it's the comforts.
Yeah.
Of the home.
Homebodiness.
Yeah. And I spend so much time at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
me too.
I'm not really the out person kind of person. Yeah. And that's why I don't like don't like staying idle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if I'm not creating content, I'm editing. If I'm not editing, I'm online.
You're working on your capstone?
Oh, yes.
What's your capstone project on?
Oh, yeah, I'm working with a client who is running a private business. She's having like a downside with her business, and she's trying to like grow it to like increase her visibility out there for the society. She works on a palliative and maid services.
Cool.
Yeah, so
I love that field.
Yeah, it's really a very good capstone, and it's a challenging topic because it's not really popular here, and people don't really talk about maid a lot,
especially not amongst the international student population, because it's not legal in many other countries.
So it's a challenging capstone for me, and I love the fact that it's challenging because it takes us out of.
It takes a very special person to work in palliative hospice care. Like, that is the most raw human experience you can have with somebody navigating that end of life, journey. It's a very special field for sure.
Yeah, so that's my topic.
Nice. Okay, what question do you have in your hand?
I have, if you could travel anywhere, where would you go?
Wow. I love to travel. I also love to travel alone. On my bucket list currently, I've been dying to go to Ireland. Yeah. I had a trip booked to Ireland May 2020. Okay. But obviously it got canceled because of COVID. So I've every year, like since traveling, being able to travel started opening back up, I was like, I want to go to Ireland. I've wanted. I don't know why there's this pull to go to Ireland. It's just been on my bucket list.
How many countries have you visited so far?
Oh, good question.
Wait, are you still counting?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've done a lot.
I've done a lot. I did more traveling in my 20s. I didn't do as much traveling, or I haven't done as much traveling yet in my 30s, but I'm doing it. Like I'm committing myself to traveling.
Do you think traveling alone does it seem fulfilling, or does it seem boring to you?
I have a lot of people say like, what? You could travel. I love it, but I love being alone. Like people don't believe me when I say this, but I'm very introverted. Like I portray myself as being extroverted in small glimpses of whatever, but I love my company. I love being alone. But I find that traveling alone, it's a challenge. You have to be like totally aware of your surroundings, and you're wayfinding and problem solving. Like, it's a dopamine fix for me. Yeah. Like, it's exciting to be navigating my way through a new place, and I've never relocated myself to move to a new country, of course. Like, the most amount of time I've ever spent in another country is a few weeks. So I don't know the experience that you've been through, but I do know how much of a thrill I get from being amongst a new culture and a new ambiance and all of those things.
Yeah, that's interesting. But I don't know if it's okay if I just divert the topic a bit.
Yes.
Yeah, and I know it's your podcast show, and
it's your podcast show.
Yeah, I know it's about me and it's her show, but I want to really talk about you just a few seconds.
God. Okay, sure. You can.
I don't know. It's my curiosity. So I know very well. I'm one of your biggest fans. I've been following your work so far. Yes. So yeah, I want to really know, how has social media impacted your mental health? It's really crazy. Social media is crazy. So like, you put yourself out there every day. You show up. You reply your DMs. You're always there. So does it help you mentally? Like, do you think it helps you relax, or do you think it messes up your mental health? What does social media do for you?
That's a really good question. I have been fascinated with social media for a very long time. Like, I was on an app. I don't know if it was an app. It was a website or something, like in my teenage years, called the Dilly. This was like MySpace era. Like, I was a part of that generation that were the first people to be on Facebook. Like, when Facebook was just for universities, you couldn't have a Facebook account if you didn't have a university email address. Did you know that was how Facebook started?
No, geez.
Yeah, Facebook started, you had to have a university email address. It was only university students on Facebook. And then it started opening up to, like, my aunt got Facebook, and I was like, what the heck? Like, why is my aunt on Facebook? So, and I think I was kind of alluding to this earlier in the car, but like, I started writing a blog in 2010 and it was blowing up. But at the same time, I was building my career in healthcare in Toronto. And I went to great lengths to try to hide myself on social media because I didn't want my blog persona and my professional persona to collide because I felt like my professional environment would not understand my personal environment. So I made a decision semi-reluctantly to like pull everything off of the internet and focus exclusively on my career. So for a very long time, when in my younger years, I was putting myself out there, like very transparently. I was talking about sex, and I was talking about relationships, and I was talking about being a young person in, 2010. I was single, like I just moved to Toronto. So I was putting myself out there in a very loud, bold way. But then I decided you can't be loud and bold and out there because that's going to impact your professional career. And so I stifled that part of me, and I buried that part of me. And I probably have some of the blogs like on a hard drive over there in a box somewhere that I could like dig up, but they were crude and like they were I didn't care. I didn't care what people thought of me. I was talking about how I felt, and I was talking about my experiences, and I found such great reward in being transparent and raw and real and funny.
And that part of you hasn't left actually, because you actually still do it on your recent contents, and you always go there vulnerable. You talk about yourself, you talk about your experiences, whether they're good, whether they're bad, you share it. And that is the vulnerability part of your page we love so much, because I think we tend to connect well with the vulnerable part of people.
And you can tell when somebody's being true and somebody's being fake too. Yeah, and I'm actually also fascinated and interested in how you cope with negative content on social media. So do you have like a therapeutic, measures you take to like bury it down, or do you like... No, don't let me fool you. Don't let me fool you. Like, don't let me fool you. I am the farthest from sane. But I seek therapy. Like, I've had a therapist off and on for like 15 years, I think, off and on. I don't know how other people's relationship with therapy, but I especially rely on therapy, not so much for, this is going to sound weird, but not so much for like the therapy practice, but just downloading my feelings onto someone, because I suffer from this issue where I think that I'm a burden on people. So I don't like going to my friends when shitty things are happening, because I don't want to look like a black cloud of doom and this horrible thing is happening, because a lot of horrible things have happened in my life. A lot of really, really horrible things. And when I talk to people, they're like, what? Like, I've never even heard of something like that happening. And so I think because I've been through so many traumatic things, I start to feel like people would think like, are she making this up? Like this, so for me, therapy is a way just for me to talk to somebody that's unbiased, that I can download all of the crazy, demons and whatever are in my head. I've suffered from suicidal ideation since I was an 8-year-old little girl. Like, not everybody can even speak those words. It took me a very long time to even confess that to a therapist, that I had thought about suicidal ideation. Like, I'd been thinking about suicide since I was a little kid. So social media, I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with it, because I love sharing and I love being real and I love putting myself out there. But then at the other end of the coin, or on the other side of the coin, I consume so much content that I have a hard time sometimes maintaining faith in humanity because there's so much shitty stuff online. So for me, I'm trying so hard to lean into authenticity, positivity, human experiences, like letting people see that just because you see something doesn't mean that that's actually what is going on. We curate what we choose to put out into the world. Like, everything that we choose to publish on our social media, we've selected those moments down to milliseconds in some cases.
You're right.
We've curated what we choose to share. And so obviously I'm kind of but I have to be honest, like, if I feel a certain way about something, or if I feel inspiration to do something, I do it in that second. I edit it in that second and I post it. Like, I become hyper fixated on that piece of content. The short form content, of course, there's a lot more that goes into the long form content and the podcast and whatever, but the short form content is usually like spur of the moment. I want to share about this thing right now. And I know that's not the best approach to social media. It should be a lot more planned and structured. And I understand all of that, but I'm such a chaotic, fly by the seat of my pants kind of person that I'm literally putting out there what I'm feeling right now in that moment, because I feel like that's the most authentic version of me, and it's less curated and planned.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
It seems chaotic, but for me, it's literally how I'm feeling in the moment. So you're seeing a firsthand bear witness to how chaotic it can sometimes feel in my head. So I find it very therapeutic to share, but in terms of the content that I consume, I am constantly consuming. You may have noticed I don't have a TV in my home.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I don't have a TV intentionally. When my relationship ended and he took the TV, I was like, I'm not getting a TV. I intentionally chose not to, because I wanted to be learning and consuming content that would help me learn new things or have me understand different perspectives on the world. I don't just consume right-wing content or just consume left-wing content. Like, I consume both types of content because I am very fascinated in the perspectives of humanity, and the perspective that I believe that having opposing opinions and having different perspectives is all part of whatever it is that we're doing in this life. We can't all have one linear way of thinking.
Just like looking at things in one angle. So do you think you're in that stage or that point in your life, mentally, physically, and otherwise right now, whereby, because trust me, you're really going deep into the social media world, and I'm really interested. And it's really good because you're taking it so serious now. You're like taking it to the next level. You have these bright ideas, these creative ideas to like push it out there to people. Social media is a very big space. It's like a world on its own. Do you think you're mentally at the stage right now where you feel you're ready to like consume any kind of comments, any kind of like?
I'm a very sensitive. I know where you're going with this. I'm a very sensitive person. Like, at the beginning of this podcast, I said, remember when you said that I repeat myself too much? Like, I fixated on that one comment. So I can't. And it's going to come. I'm sure it's already started to happen on TikTok. You guys are mean on TikTok. So freaking mean. But not really. Not a ton of negative. But I think my approach will have to be just to not read the comments.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I will read the comments. Like, there might even become a time where I have to get people to filter it for me. Like, I don't want it to be deleted. I respect people's opinions. You're going to think I'm a shitbag. That's fine. There's other people that don't think that I'm a shitbag. So that's okay. And again, I respect the diversity of opinions. I respect that people will not always jive with what it is I'm putting out there, but I would be lying to you if I said, oh, it'll be fine. I'm not going to be impacted by it at all. I'm going to be very impacted by it because I'm a sensitive, soft person. I just hope that at the end of the day, I can remind myself, even of the comments that you made to me today, I hope that at the end of the day, I can remind myself that the people who want to believe in me, or the people who do believe in me, there's many of them out there.
Yeah, you have them.
And I've always said this from the beginning, like, even if I can just make an impact on one person's life, then I've done a good job. And I think I've made an impact on more than just one person's life. So it's easier said than done. It's so easy to say, it'll be fine, and I'll just filter my comments and it's not going to bother me, but I know it will be hard. I've been very lucky in that there hasn't been a ton of, she's a friggin' idiot, and what the fuck is she doing with the podcast? Like, I haven't experienced much of that yet, but I know it will come if things continue to grow.
Yeah, because you're going to grow big, and that's why I'm asking if you're actually ready for the big game of,
I guess,
of social media.
If I'm being honest with you, and because I'm so keen on mentorship, like, I really need to understand how people who are already doing it, like, I need to understand what approaches or whatever strategies they use to maintain because this is something that's still so new, right? Like, having a presence on social media has only really been like 10, 15-ish, maybe even just 10 years that people have really been like putting themselves out there. So we haven't even really studied or had the opportunity to study the long-term impact that this is going to have, or, the scope of how big social media can get. I don't know how much content you consume, but I heard something recently that was like, social media and our phones have replaced our televisions and every application. So every app is like a channel.
Right. It's a channel. Yeah, that's right.
Every app is like a channel on your TV.
That's true.
So if you had a TV show, wouldn't you want your TV show to be on all of the TV channels?
Yeah.
Because you want to reach as many people as possible.
Yeah.
So we only have however many apps, right? Like LinkedIn, I don't know, like maybe 10, let's just say mainstream apps that people are on, like Discord and TikTok and Facebook and whatever. But in 10, 15 years, there could be 50
more
platforms because of these communities that are being created and people like you and me that are trying to push the boundaries of whatever. So like there's technology and applications and ways of putting ourselves out there that haven't even been invented yet.
You're right.
And I'm like, bring it on. So that's kind of my feeling about social media. It's not going to be rainbows and butterflies. Nothing fucking is. So I'm going to try to take the good with the bad and try to drown out the noise of the negativity and just smother more positivity and confidence out there if I can. And just stop caring what people think, because I've spent way too many years of my life worrying about,
right?
Like I literally put aside an entire passion and dream that I was pursuing because I was worried about what the healthcare community was going to think of my authentic blog.
You would have blown so big by now if
I probably honestly, like I had a dream at one point that I wanted to be a stand-up comedian.
Oh my God,
there were so many like other sides of my life, and then I went full force into a healthcare career and flew through that. And
but I don't think on if we're actually turning if we're actually like putting the coin on the other side of things, your healthcare career has actually been like gateway to where you are right now, because you've mentored students. You've met a lot of students that look up to you right now. So if you had quit or you had stopped, then I don't think we'll be sitting here right now.
No, I firmly believe that everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. I firmly believe that I was supposed to do what I was supposed to do. I don't regret it. I will cherish my career in the hospital sector forever. I will always, but that's not what I want to be doing anymore.
But do you like lecturing?
I love teaching. Teaching is my heart and soul. Like I love teaching very, very much. Yeah. But again, opportunity with teaching is burning to the ground in front of my eyes. So I might even have to like start teaching my own classes, running my own classes online. Like these are all kind of things that I've been thinking about. But we're talking way too much about me. So final segment is the Olive in the Pit. Okay. So it's March 1st. For those of you watching, we're filming this on March 1st. So let's talk about February. What was the olive for you in February? The olive being like the best thing that happened, because my name is Olive and she's the best. Not my name. My dog's name is Olive and she's the best thing that ever happened to me. So what was your olive for the month of February? And then the pit is like the pits, the dumps, the shit. Like, so what was your olive and what was your pit for February?
It's actually like my family actually joining me, right? Like they're actually going to come to Canada.
Oh my gosh. So you started the planning and the conversations about that this month?
Yeah.
Nice.
And if it's actually been concluded. Yeah. So they'll be here by May.
Oh my gosh.
So that's like,
I hope I get to meet you.
Yeah, you will. And the other paid part of it, there's the stress that comes so much in doing a lot of things I'm doing right now, because I'm running a platform. I'm doing my capstone, as you know.
That's a lot.
I'm trying to figure out the immigration going on right now for immigrants like us and international students. Will we stay? We will not stay? Are they going to chase us back home? Will they not chase us back home? Like,
it's so up in the air.
Yeah. So there's a lot of changes going on right now in the government, and
where are you? Do you work as well?
Oh yes.
Oh my gosh, you work the 20 hours a week or whatever?
Yeah, it's 24 hours now. They just added the 4 hours for us. So I juggle work also as so it's a lot. So I had this a bit of breakdown in February, and I cried so much. Yeah. So but
sorry.
I think I'm actually putting myself out there right now. So my social media, my content creation is like my solace. Like that's why I find peace, because that's actually what I'm doing that I'm not forced to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my real self. I'm not coerced to put in content. I do it on my own terms. I know the kind of contents I put out, and I see people getting impacted by my content. So I think that part of me is what I really want to cherish and keep so very well. And figuring out my life in Canada after graduation by April is another part of me I'm struggling with right now, because figuring out my career moving forward has to do with the immigration system.
These are things that are so far out of your control.
Yeah, because if I choose this career, will this career make me stay back in the country, or will it chase me back home? So I have to like do a career that the government wants, not what I want is what the government wants. So because I just want to stay back, right? I've made Canada my home, even if I have had so many ups and downs and challenges, but at the end of the day, it's becoming part of me and it's becoming home. I've made friends, I've made families.
Met me.
Yeah. So like the connection, it's growing really well. I'm putting myself out there. I'm trying new things. I'm challenging myself. The options for possibilities are so open right now in Canada for me, and I would really love to exploit them all. So I think I have to dance to the tune of the government right now.
You just, sometimes you just have to do the thing to get the thing, and then you can do the thing.
Yeah. That's
I get it. I know.
Yeah,
I get
do the thing to get the thing, then do the thing.
Then you do the thing, right?
So right now I'm just going to do what the government wants and get what I want, then actually do what because I have in mind what I actually want.
Because while you're doing the thing that the government wants you to do, that can fund the thing that you actually want to be doing, right? That was another thing, that I had to remind myself is like,
yeah, it's true. So that's
you can be doing something that you don't really want to do as long as it keeps your bills paid and a roof over your head and whatever, and then you can focus on the other stuff.
So that's just it.
Cynthia, you're a joy and a pleasure. Thank you so much for being on the All of You podcast.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure talking to you, Professor Shannon. It's really nice.
I know. I think we're going to be friends for a long time.
Yeah, definitely.
I think so.
Yeah. So,
well, I said this to another guest, but you'll be walking across the stage. So please keep me in the loop when convocation is. I don't know if you guys will walk across the stage on the same day or whatever, but keep me in the loop when convocation is. I do try to attend. It's really? Not goodbye. I also did get offered a very, very, very small teaching assignment at Fanshawe for the summer.
Woo,
so
congrats.
I will be on the campus.
Then you will be
it's
campus
my only. Thank you, Fanshawe. Thank you, Fanshawe, for believing in me. They're the only school. They're the only school that offered me anything. So it's not. It's not a huge paycheck, but it'll be something which will carry me through. Yeah, but it's passion,
right? Because you just said you love teaching,
and I get to teach again. And I have to be honest. Like, no offense to any of the other college students that are listening to this, but my Fanshawe students are the best, and I'm going to tell you why.
It's because
they show up. You hear me? Attendance. They actually come to class.
Yeah, it's true.
So if you're watching this and you don't come to class ever,
you should start coming to class.
I like Fanshawe better than you. Except for the people that do show up all the time, then I love you. But like, no word of a lie, I teach at 4 schools. Every class the Fanshawe students show up for, and I'm like, why do they all come to class? Like, it's actually alarming to me that Fanshawe students are all there, because the other schools I teach at, like, if it's a class of 35 people, like maybe 8 people show up.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And Fanshawe, I walk in and you're all like, we've been waiting for you. And I'm like, oh shit.
I think as I said, especially the campus you teach, Professor, it's mostly integrated and mostly dominated by immigrants. I've told you that at the beginning of this podcast, right? We pay so much to be where we are. Yeah, like we literally use our blood.
You're literally going to donate plasma to pay your tuition.
So we can't afford the luxury of missing classes. And I don't know for other students, there are so many repercussions in missing classes for immigrants. So I don't know how some people take it, but Fanshawe takes it very serious. Yeah. And that is why we also take it serious, because Fanshawe takes it serious. And aside Fanshawe taking it serious, we think we've paid higher price to miss classes.
Kidding. You're paying, like, have you ever broken down the cost per class? Like, if let's just say you're paying $20,000 for tuition for the semester. If you broke that down if you had how many classes, it's like $150 a class.
Yeah.
That you're literally just flushing down the toilet if you don't go.
Yeah. So we try to show up.
Yeah. Well, you do. And thank you for showing up. But honestly, like hats off to my Fanshawe crew. And if you're listening to this and you've been watching me silently, like send me a message. I can't promise that I will be able to respond to all of them because I do, especially on LinkedIn, like I'm getting more messages on LinkedIn than I can keep up with. And it's not that I don't want to, it's just a lot. I'm doing a lot. There's a lot happening all the time. So if I don't respond to your message, just know that I will have seen it. For sure, I will have seen it. I'll acknowledge it if I can. But yeah. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Professor.
Maybe we will be able to do this again sometime.
Sure, no problem.
And yeah,
I don't mind you also being a guest in my podcast one day because
should we do that? Oh my God, swap a doodle do. Yeah,
but
okay.
Not right now because the space, I don't have a very cool space like this, but
we could do a virtual one.
No, that's not. I would really like us to have in person podcast.
Sweet. Okay,
yeah,
I appreciate you saying that.
I'll be moving to a new apartment soon, and when I'm all set, I'll send you a message.
Yes,
I really might like my followers to like. You have a lot to say about healthcare, and
I do.
And most of my followers are Canadians and prospective people coming to Canada, and we really like to explore.
Listen, I'll pull the veil off of the healthcare system, and I'll tell you all of the things I know about healthcare in Canada. I've got 25 years of experience. I'm pretty sure I could teach you all a thing or two. Yeah. Anyways, all right, guys. Well, it's been a pleasure. This is the All of You podcast, the podcast where we sit down with all of you. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
All right.